Hello everyone, it is Jacob here. In this video I would like to show you my build progression where I'm able to farm time mark 8 pretty comfortably. Finally, it took me some balancing, but the build is ready and well, you should be able to farm for everything using the two strategies that I gave you. I will show you how it goes in time mark 8. Just a quick showcase here. The build has around 7 billion DPS, I believe. It varies. Sometimes it's 9, sometimes it's 6. I have no idea why, but it simply is like that. But as you can see, I've automated the summon. I got the summon sentry automation, so the sentries are automatically summoned, and so you can just blink through the entire map and pick the loot. Wow, 11 eyes right there. Okay. I will go over the gear. I will go over the skills because there are a few changes. My gear is still like not that good. There's still a lot of room for improvement, and I wanted to do this showcase just so you have the middle step between farming time mark 7 and profound, because the next upgrades that I will get will let me to actually go to profound, because the damage will just skyrocket. But yeah, I will show you that in the next videos. This one is for time mark 8 with pretty cheap upgrades actually. This is how the time mark 8 pirate goes. Invitation, nice. Now let's hop on to the review. Let's go to the dummy just to check the damage. No idea where will it come here, but as I said, sometimes it's 9, sometimes it's 6. It depends on whatever auras pop up, I guess. I was switching things a lot. If you remember, in the last update I was using spirits. I altered the build a bit. Now I'm using auras instead of spirits. So as you can see, around 5 billion DPS like average. 8 or 9 in peak. Yeah, depends on what procs, what not. But enough to do 8.2 maps. So let's check the gear. Everything is pretty much the same. The only thing that I got is this ring, which will give you a little bit more critical strike chance and like 50 more critical strike damage. It is cheap because, yeah, nothing. So just get one for like 10 FEs. Also gives you +1 agility blessings, which reduces the maximum agility blessings you can get, which gives you like a higher debuff on the monster, this one, so the monster takes more erosion damage. Okay, so that's one ring. I've pretty much crafted resistance rings, and since I changed the passive tree a little bit, I have more resistances from passive tree. It allowed me to like swap one resistance ring out for this one to get a little bit more damage, but the damage is not like, there's not a huge difference. If you have your tier 2 ring, just you can stick with that and you will be just fine. But a big upgrade that I made where actually these gloves, I bought them first, which I would consider being budget version gloves for this build, because it boosts your sentries, and you can buy them for around 100 FEs. 150, 170, yeah, pretty cheap. You should be able to farm for them. It should take you like 20 minutes with the strat that I showed you in the last videos. But yeah, these gloves, decent upgrade. It will let you summon 3 sentries per skill. So as you can see, I dropped one of the 2 sentry skills that I had. I'm running just one, and I slot in Curse instead. So if you don't have the automation skill yet, this will ease your gameplay, because you will only have to like pop one skill every now and then. So yeah, great upgrade there. For another upgrade that I made, I have this armor. I believe I showed it in the last video, but if I didn't, you can get one for around 500 FEs with this corruption. Without that corruption, it's like 300. So that's that. Focus on the attack and cast speed on that one. And another big upgrade was the bow, actually, which I started crafting a tier 1 bow. So and how I approach the crafting, as you can see now, it gives me almost 50% more DPS. But as how I approach the crafting, just craft the easiest modes first. Try to get them to like... I started with tier 3s because it's not cheap to craft them, so I started with tier 3 item level 100 bow. And just craft the cheapest mods first, and you want to get gear physical damage, added physical damage, those two. Try to get them like at least tier 3. And then you want to get attack speed on the suffix, and it will be your base. And after that, you want to start focusing on ultimate affixes. And why? I'm going with suffixes first, because I want to get the +2 max sentry quantity, so I would have 4 sentries instead of only 3. So that's the first mod I'm going for, but you could take it the other way around and you could go for prefix first. And the prefix would be this one, 100% gear physical damage and flat physical damage. And that would probably net you more damage. But how do you want to approach crafting the ultimate affixes is you want to block one of the other mods. So if you are going for gear physical damage, you would want to craft any other mod here instead of one of these 2 mods, and then start rolling for this, hoping for it to hit eventually. The chance for it to hit is 5%, so blocking one mod here helps you with that, basically. That's what I'm doing in the suffixes here. I have like this additional projectile damage here, and that's this one, and additional damage applied to life, and I'm rerolling one of them, trying to get the max centric wand, which yeah, you can either do it like this or just keep clicking it yourself, or just click craft and hope that it will hit the one that you want. This one, it's not it. Additional damage against frozen enemies, also not it, so I stick with what I got. So reroll these mods, keep the ones that are useful. Those would be like additional projectile damage, additional damage applied to life, those 2, and keep rerolling one of them until you hit the max sentry. For the prefixes, it would be gear phase and probably attack skill level. Yeah, attack skill level or erosion penetration. and armor mitigation penetration is also great. So yeah, whatever you hit, just put 2 either prefixes or suffixes, and then try to reroll one of them to get the mod that you want. You want to get the gear fist on prefixes, and you want to get the +2 sentries on suffixes, and eventually you will hit it. And then you would like to get like gear attack speed and critical strike damage. That's here on the advanced suffixes, critical strike damage. And on the prefixes it would be on the prefixes, the last mod that I'm missing is the gear fist. So yeah, gear fist, flat fist, hybrid gear fist and flat fist, then +2 sentries, critical strike damage, and attack speed, gear attack speed. That's the bow that we are going for. Eventually you want to get all of them to tier 1, and after that you want to get them to tier 0. That would be our ideal bow. We can try to check if someone else has bow. You can check them on split shots, for example. They scale pretty much the same, so you can check what they have here. Gear fist, flat fist, projectile damage, crit damage, attack speed. Instead of projectile damage we are going for the +2 sentries. That's it. So pretty much this, just different, just the +2 sentries. So that's for the gear. Try to get your resistances as high as possible. You get some resistances from your passive tree. I will go through the passive tree right now. Let's hop on to that. In Goddess of Deception, I'm going with the movement speed and skill area here, because the aim area actually can shotgun if its area is large enough. You can hit one target with multiple arrows basically, so you want to increase its area at least a little bit. Then to mitigate the burst of anger, what is it called, persistent damage that you take, like every second you take 2% of your maximum life as physical damage. So to mitigate that at least a little bit, I took this. Regenerates 1.5% life per second. It's also like decent max life nodes, so yeah, definitely not wasted points here. If you have them, and you will eventually have them, just pick these. It's like 24% more life. So yeah, erosion damage, deterioration, and erosion damage and damage to life. For the large passives, mixture for deterioration chance, and deceiver's might for blessings. In Shadow Master, third with Beyond Cure, and I'm going for mix of max life and max energy shield, then deterioration damage. Here is a little bit of erosion resistance, so 20% erosion resistance and minus 90% build damage taken. So there's 20% erosion resistance right there in the tree. Erosion damage and chance to inflict 1 additional stack of deterioration will help you with damage basically. Then this is really important, converts 100% of physical damage to erosion damage. That's what let us use the NRRs. And again, erosion damage. Here we have some seal compensation nodes, so we are able to actually run 4 auras. 3 50 ones and 1 10% one. And here is some additional erosion damage or deterioration damage as well. And the last tree here is Warlock with Indifferent and Off the Beaten Track. Taking damage at the first because I don't have any energy shield yet, but once I will have some energy shield I will go with this instead. then attack speed, and critical strike rating and crit damage. Then I'm taking some like max life and life regain. It helps me with survivability throughout the map. Then cooldown recovery and +1 max charges. I'm taking these 5 nodes mainly for the +1 max charges. I don't have much use for the cooldown recovery, but the +1 max charges helps with some of my buffs that I will show you once we go through the skills. Then +1 all skill levels up here, and 6% elemental resistance is down here. For the statue of the god, you want to get a pedigree with co-resonance. That is the big trait that we are losing by not going with machinist, I believe. Yeah, that's this big node here, co-resonance, which scales your like attack and cast speed into your sentry's cast speed. So that's what I'm getting on my pedigree right here, and I try to get something useful with it. What's useful on this here is the block ratio for me, because eventually I will go for block rating as well, which I already have some on my memories, but I will want to cap myself up eventually, or at least get as much block rate chance to block as possible. So I'm taking block ratio here. Some life regeneration speed also helps a little bit with the debuff from burst of anger and extra damage. Yeah, co-resonance, the most important one, definitely. I can try to find the filter that I have, that I used to find that pedigree. Was this, and condition group 3. So let's go like this, confirm, and then I added co-resonance like this, search, there's none, so I reduced it to 1, and there are these like useful ones. Some of them are pretty cheap, so yeah, definitely try to get something useful. Let's check what the list has. Projectile damage, projectile speed and skill area. Skill area, projectile speed. Block ratio when holding a two-handed weapon. Block ratio and 1%, restore 1%, that's what I have. 10% chance to restore 15 when you block. Also great. Minus 8% additional damage taken. Like, well, I will go through the list. You can actually pause the video and screenshot it yourself. Cooldown recovery, crit damage, chance to inflict 1 additional stack of deterioration and minus additional deterioration duration. That will let your deterioration to actually hit faster. That's also a great stat. Additional deterioration damage and additional sentry damage if sentry skill is not used in the last 1 second. I am not using my sentry skill at all, and it is being cast only when my sentries actually end. And why is that? I will go over the skills right now. I will actually go over the other slates I have. I have the same slates as I had. The only thing, and what I struggled with a lot, was I had a slate that had, let me see if I can find it here, that had this mod on it, and this mod actually was screwing me over, because affliction inflicted per second and 8 affliction inflicted per second by minions. I was inflicting affliction on myself, which was scaling the physical damage taken from the burst of anger. So I was degenerating life really fast, so you definitely don't want to have this mod anywhere on your slates. So just keep that in mind. affliction inflicted per second. You are damaging yourself with the burst of anger, so you are inflicting affliction on yourself actually when you have this trait on. So definitely, yeah, keep that in mind. Don't try to not have it. But yeah, other than that, I haven't changed anything. The only thing that I changed is the pedigree. I got a pedigree, and then the rest of the rest of the slates stayed the same. So additional base damage for 200 weapons and projectile speed and range critical strike rating. And then whatever useful you can get. Eventually, I will change them as well. But for now, these ones are enough and are cheap. Now let's hop on to the skills. Arrow NRR and Arrow Storm, that's what I had in the last video. Once you get the gloves, these gloves, try to pair them with Arrow NRR Fellowship as well. This one, I'm not sure how much are they right now, but we can check it. Arrow and Harrier. You can get one for pretty cheap actually already, so definitely get that. And with that and the gloves, you want to at the beginning you want to get sentry modifications as well, just so you are able to actually summon 3 sentries at once. I will try to show you right now once my sentries end. You can see I'm summoning only 2. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, you will be summoning 2. If you drop this one, you will be summoning only 1. I will do the summoning. As you can see, only 1 of them dies every time I summon. If I put it back in, 2 of them die. And like, you want to have at least 2 up all the time, so this setup will help you with that. If you are running the build from my last video, you will still have the +1 sentry summoned from your passive tree from the Machinist, so this setup would summon 3 sentries instead. So that's what I was running. But once you are able to get the activation medium sentry, you want to get one with +3 sentries that can be deployed at a time, because we will be getting 4 sentries in the end. So you want to get it with +3, which will let you summon 4 sentries at once. So you want to get it like this. Those are going for around 300 FEs right now. It's nothing crazy really, just get it and you should be good to go. For the support skills, multifaceted guard, you want to have that one, and then you want to get either passivation or Nova Shot. For now, passivation yields me more damage, but it doesn't increase this number, so you will be lower in the... if you are pushing numbers for hero rankings, you will be lower in the rankings because passivation does not increase this number. So you would rather take Nova Shots for that. But passivation will yield you more damage on enemies that have higher life pools, basically. So yeah, passivation for me for now, just because I needed the damage. For the movement skill, blink, arrow, quick mobility and periodic burst. Once you get enough energy, slot energy avoidance as well, or blinding. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Magic dash might be useful as well for the 4% movement speed, but not really necessary. So either blinding or emergency avoidance, just to get a little bit more defense. For the curse of choice, either corruption or timid. We will get timid eventually from our gear choices. but for now either one of those will work. I'm going with corruption just because it's in my final setup. Then empower skill, aim, preparation, mass effect, cooldown reduction, and well fought battle. And this is the setup where the +1 maximum charges is important, because if you balance it well enough and you are on max charges when it gets cast, you get the maximum, as you can see, like 2, 3 is max. Now it gets cast again. Mass effect is a support that actually is dependent on the maximum charges the skill has when it gets cast. So when you are on maximum charges, which for me is 3, I'm getting 69% effectiveness from this support only, basically. So compared to well fought battle, that gives you only 34.5%. Yeah, this is 69, so yeah. This is huge. And for the burst of anger, I'm running the same. So this has 8 seconds cooldown, this has like 10 reduced by this, and the cooldown recovery from your tree as well. So as you can see, it's almost perfect here. And the buffs are pretty much always up, at least for the burst of anger, it is always up. For the aim, I would maybe consider taking extended duration instead of the effectiveness, just to have that buff always up. Let's see if it stays up. Almost. So yeah, for a higher uptime I would probably choose the extended duration instead of the 30% effectiveness, but that's up to you. Just test it, try whatever suits your playstyle better. For the auras, I'm running Cruelty. That's like a weird aura which increases attack damage, but it also gets a buff against stacks of buffs, which you can get up to 40, like stacks up to 40 times, and each stack increases your aura effect per stack. So this is crazy. If I understand the skill right, it scales your other auras as well, because plus 2.5% additional aura effect per stack of the buff. If this aura effect is a stat of your character and not this specific aura's effect, and this is crazy. So yeah, I'm running this. I'm not sure how it works. It's just worded like weirdly, and I didn't test it enough. So if anyone tested it, just let me know in the comment section below, please. Yeah, cruelty, attack damage. You are an attack build, so this scales. Precise projectiles, projectile damage and projectile speed. Erosion enhancement, additional erosion damage. You can run either this or weapon amplification, but I'm not sure if the weapon amplification doesn't scale the debuff from the burst of anger. It might, so I went with erosion enhancement instead. Like this. And the last aura of choice for me is rejuvenation, because I need to offset the burst of anger somehow, and this is what lets me do it. You could run swiftness instead, but we don't need the movement speed really, and the rejuvenation at least helps us with survival. If I didn't need it, I would actually swap it out. You can see. And for more damage, you would want to get in summon Thunder Magus, which would look like this, for example. But I would have to drop these two to get enough energy for all of this. Maybe okay, keep this in. It might be enough. We'll see. So you would just slot in extra support to reduce the mana cost of the auras, which might in the end let us... Okay, it's not enough, so let's take rid of this as well and put it here and try to get maybe added erosion damage. Still not enough, so I need 50 energy. Put it here. You basically need to balance your build out to be able to reserve all the auras that you want. Now you can see I'm running all with the spirit as well, which gives me additional attack and cast speed, which gets scaled into the centric attack and cast speed. And now the damage will be higher, but you need to keep in mind that you need to like get the life regain and the regeneration somewhere. While mapping is not an issue because you are regenerating life as you are killing monsters with this talent, but on bosses or while bossing, for example, if you would like to push boss conquest, then you need a source of health regen to survive the boss's like degen damage and the unavoidable breath. So yeah, for that, if you want to keep the spirits, I would suggest you to swap out blink arrow for a restoration skill for life source, for example. To have a restoration skill on the boss, you would do it like this. Take auto charge to get charges and residues, so it stays up, and you would run it like this without the movement skill. As you can see, the damage is definitely higher because the attack speed and cast speed is like 9% or something. So yeah, that would be my recommendation if you wanted more damage for bosses. And for mapping, whatever, right? We can run with it like this. And what did I have there? Quick mobility and periodic burst. This goes out. I will keep it like this for now. So yeah, that's for the skills. For hero memories, try to get red memories. Try to get the last one is probably the most important one. Will yield you the most damage because this is huge. For every stack of desecration and for every 5% of life the enemy is missing, you deal additional erosion damage. So yeah, try to get that one, 250. It will cost you something if you are buying the materials, but with the strategies that I provided you, you should be able to farm for it yourself, which I did. And you would want to do it for all of your memories eventually. Try to get projectile speed on your memories, because you are scaling the projectile speed into damage with Gale. So projectile speed on memories. I have it. I don't have it here. Projectile speed, attack block chance, and spell block chance. That will be the slots that these three slots are used for, like projectile speed, attack block chance, and spell block chance. So yeah, for general mapping, take Tarnished Sage. For bossing, take Disgrace Minister. That's it. So that's pretty much it for the build. I believe I went through everything. It farms time mark 8 pretty easily. You can even go to time mark 8.2. I can try to kill the boss actually. Let's try it. I don't like this one, that's why I left it for last. Just to get a little bit more damage until I try to kill it. But who knows, I might be able to do it. I did all the other ones easily. As long as you are able to dodge the boss mechanics, you should be able to clear them. And the other ones are easy to dodge. This one is the only one that gives me a hard time. With all its like AoEs and projectiles. But as you can see, it is dying pretty fast with my 8 billion DPS. And you should be able to kill the Traveler as well. So as this phase again, hide here. 1, 2, 3. Ouch, yeah, I was too slow. But yeah, the character is still squishy, but yeah, there's really nothing you can do with that. Other than hoping that it will get better eventually. I believe it will, once we get the block chance and block ratio. And I also hope that it will have enough damage, but as you can see, you can still clear 8.2 Watcher. So you should be able to clear 8.2 maps as well, even though not quickly, but it is possible. A tip for progressing the star chart to time mark 2, you can farm the star shards on time mark 0 or time mark 8.0. You can just run this region and farm the star shards, farm 8 star shards, and then swap to time mark 8.2 and just do the Watcher there, because the star shards are the same. So that would be my tip, how to do it faster. Yeah, I guess that's it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you like this like half done, but not even half done, but just a step in between time mark 7 and Profound. Yeah, I will keep upgrading the bow. That will give me a lot of boost, and I have some other gear changes that I need to do. It will be in the next video, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.